Grand Rising Elizabeth. Elizabeth, everybody that is pregnant with visions and dreams. It doesn't matter whether you're male or female, this just happens to be focused on the female energy. My name is Queen Aduni, also known as, my mama said, Sheila Everette-Hale. Well, she didn't put the hell, my husband put the hell on there. And this is the 5th annual Elizabeth Visionary Conference. Although Elizabeth is 30 years old, I got the whole vision. I got pregnant with Elizabeth when I turned 40, and I asked God to give me a gift from the preacher from the Bahamas, Dr. Miles Monroe, who was in town in Detroit, in the United States, in the cold, because it was February the 1st, my birthday. And I said, give me a gift through this man, through what he speaks. And Dr. Miles Monroe, he talked about time first, and that we are the ones that are caught up in time. God is not. And how important time is for us. And then he talked about, that's his appetizer. Then he talked about the lessons from the conception. And that the same way that Mary brought Jesus here, that God sent his baby here, is exactly the same way that our visions and dreams will come forth. Not something like, exactly. So there were 20 principles that talks about what you will go through in bringing forth your vision and your dreams, okay? And one of them is right at the very beginning when you get pregnant with God's baby. And the angel said, well, Mary said, well, how's this going to happen being that I've not been with any man? And she said, the Holy Ghost will come upon you, and therefore insert that baby, impregnate you, and that baby was Jesus Christ. He said also in that scripture, he says, oh yeah, and your cousin Elizabeth is also with child. She was also carrying a vision, a dream, who happened to be John the Baptist. And when Mary approached John the Baptist inside, when she approached Elizabeth, her baby leaped. Principle, be around people that cause your baby to leap. And here's the more responsible one, be the person that causes others' babies to leap. I must say that I am one of those. I know that I am. Because when I talk to you, I'm going to ask you what you're about. What's your vision? What's your dream? What are you passionate about? What gets you excited? All of a sudden, that little mundane conversation becomes, yeah, well, let me tell you. I met a man, he was sitting back in the car, we was at a club. The people went up to sing, and I asked the guy, I said, well, what are you passionate about? I didn't know him. And he's all slumped back and stuff, and I said it again. So what do you love to do? What would you do for free? What is your passion? He sat up and said, well, you really serious? I said, yeah. He said, I love cleaning bathrooms. You know, I could make that man happy. I have a bathroom I do not love to clean. So I hired him. He went in the bathroom, he had his music, he shut the door, he had all of his equipment and stuff, and he cleaned that whole bathroom up. But you see, first he was all slumped back. When he knew I was serious, he came alive. His face came alive, and he began to talk about what he loves. So today we want you to talk about everything that you love, all that's in there. Some people cannot talk about their babies. They're in a household or in a surrounding where somebody's always saying, oh, you need to stop dreaming. Oh, you need to shut up. You ain't gonna do that. Look where you live. You know, blah, 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 blah. You wanna run from them. Those are the people you do not want to share your visions and dreams with. They need a little more growth. So you want to find people. I am Queen Aduni, and I am that one. And all these sisters and brothers that are here are also Elizabeths. They are pregnant with visions and dreams. Our vending area downstairs, our marketing place, you can see all of the babies just jumping around like crazy. Speaking of jumping around like crazy, I met Dr. Nicole Scruggs on our Elizabeth show. We have a show every morning, Monday through Friday. It's called Grand Rising Elizabeth. Monday through Friday from 8 to 10. And you talk about a good time. We have a wonderful time. And Dr. Nicole came on and just blew us out the water. And we just have kept her ever since in our lives by using her services, drinking her teas, getting consultations. And I'm super blessed because she is going to be she is now part of Everett's Natural Beauty School and Salon, Natural Hair, Health, and Beauty. So we're able to offer that. And she has some good, she's a naturopath doctor, and she's got a lot to share with you, very innovative, very creative. So without further ado, clap your hands for Dr. Nicole Scruggs.
Thank you, Elizabeth. And I'll put it on there. How are you doing? If you don't laugh enough, you're not gonna be interactive with me. Okay. First of all, let you know what. Let me go back. First, I'm grateful to God for this moment. To my Lord, my Savior, Jesus Christ. To whom none of this will be possible. None of us will be possible. However you believe, that's my belief. But I am grateful to be able to stand here, and I'm thankful to Queen Adoni for even looking my way, to even allowing me this space. I am immensely grateful. Love abounding, love abounding, love abounding. And there's so much coming your way. As we grow and elevate and elevate and grow and grow and elevate and elevate, grow, you're going to see your children and your visions populate and populate and propagate. Hold on to that. Right. And I want everybody to kind of raise your hands up. I can't raise my hand and keep them on. And say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm alive.
I'm alive.
I'm well.
Yeah.
I can hear.
I can hear.
I can receive.
I can receive.
I am love. I am peace.
I am peace.
I am powerful.
I am powerful.
I am supported.
I am supported.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am love.
I am love.
I give love.
I give love.
I receive love.
I receive love. Hey.
All right. It's a little bit about me. EW is the moniker for my business. It's Ellison Holistic Health Consultant. And people look at Ellison and it's just Nicole backwards. I had to come up with a name all of a sudden, and I was like, okay, let's turn this thing around and see what it does. And so Ellison Holistic, I put the W on because we want to be whole. Whole, perfect, and complete, right? And so Ellison Holistic, that is the name of my company. How I got started, I actually started in engineering. I was in mechanical engineering, went to GMI Engineering Institute, Flint, Michigan, and I went to Paul Federal University. I did 4 years of 5-year program. In the midst of that, I began to really get into stress. Did not do the things that I was taught coming up. And so I started having irritable bowel issues. So tough that I thought I was having heart attacks during my classes because the stress was so bad. And then was going to gastroenterologists and things like that, people like that, and common things, that's not nice. People like that because they are needed, and I got tired and I fired him because he did not honor who I was, to even to let me know what was really truly going on in my life. So that was between 1921. My mom had to come to Jesus meeting with me about my strength and my decisions about what I wanted to do in my life. And then I took that and was like, okay, went on a 10-year journey. Got into massage therapy because I like hands put on. You carrying books all the time, those that are collegiate want the books. You know, you put it on one shoulder, you mess up your shoulders, mess up your hips and things like that. And so massage therapy would help me to relax, and I felt, you know, I would do that and make a little money on the side and put my hands on people in school and they really enjoyed it. So come down the road, I go into a school. I went into my own massology institute in South Hill, and I went in there and had a kismet moment. And oh my God, like I'm supposed to be here. The smell, the aroma, the energy. I was like, okay, I'm supposed to be here. It didn't work out till 4 years later. The money wasn't right then, but everything worked out. Got on car accident, turned around. I was on my way to traditional medical school. But car accident ended up going, looking, it's like, okay, I went to my massology. Went inside of that school and began to learn truly what it is to lay hands on people. How to properly lay hands on people so that we're not taking energy, giving energy that is our own, and that is someone else's, and ourselves messed up. And then not actually putting fluids in the wrong place, because you can massage and you can have people gravitating towards the mouth. That can cause a lot of problems. That's one thing, you don't want to take that in your mouth. So you want to make sure that you got somebody to know with it, right? Okay, so one of my electives was herbology. And I'm sitting there, and this man, Dr. Watkins, rest his soul, he's the owner of Pure Herbs in Sterling High School. I really stand behind their product. He taught me 200 herbs in 4 days, 250 herbs in 4 days. And I was like, oh my God, I knew it. So I ain't gotta take this drug stuff. I knew I didn't have to take it. I didn't have to do it. Okay, cool. All right, so I need more. I need more because I knew it. I knew God was gonna put something in my pathway where I did not have to take medical drugs, you know, and I understand people's thought process when it comes to medical drugs. I call them Band-Aids. And what do you do with a Band-Aid? And then, all right, so when you have a Band-Aid after a while, how do mama teach us? We had to eat right, right? We have to take the Band-Aid off and clean the wound, right? Air, okay, sunshine, right? And then put a full Band-Aid on there until it heals, right? And then after so long, you don't need the Band-Aid anymore because you're doing the proper steps, right? To ensure that that sore, that wound is healing properly. But if we stay putting this nasty Band-Aid on, what happens to the sore? And then we heard the gangrene, right? Not just for the people. And sores and getting boils and carbuncles and things like that, and it's smelly and fluffy and all that. So I was like, I didn't want that. And so herbology was there. So I was introduced to Dr. Dawud Rahman, my mentor, my teacher, and went to the Michigan Institute of Natural Health. And I received my herbal extraction specialist certificate, dry blood analysis, went into master herbalism, and then into my naturopathic medicine. And I was in heaven because I'm learning things about this body, because they're like, okay, you're an engineer. How did you do this and that? And I'm doing the same thing. I rather a human body that God made that is so amazing, that it's able to heal itself if you do things properly. But we gotta do things proper. But we also gotta know that we're worthy of it, right? We're worthy to be healthy. Right, next slide. We work to be happy and healthy and whole, right? And so I want you to know, like, really, good health is our birthright. We believe that? So we believe that it's our birthright. Why don't we become proactive about our own health? Why do we allow ourselves to fall apart? Right? But it's our birthright, right? Right? Okay, so it's not a beat up session, so don't take it like that. We're not beating up nobody. I just want us to really open up our ears to hear. Hear spirit, it's like, know your worth. I gave you the right to be healthy. I made you perfect, whole, and complete. I made you love. I made you a miracle. So somewhere along the way, we made our choices, right? And so somewhere along the way, we gotta make a conscious decision to make change. And so in holistic health, we really want to look at all aspects of healing. Go ahead, say that. All right, so holistic health. You want to look at the physical, you want to look at the nutritional, your spiritual, your emotional, your social, okay? So in all of these areas, we have to sit down and take thought process about what we're doing in all aspects of this, right? So physically, what we put into our body, right? What we put in our mouth, what we put in our ears, what we put on our skin, right? What we put on our lips, what we put on our lashes, what we put on our nails. All of that, we have to think about holistically what we're doing and how our body is going to output, how our body is going to process, or what we call metabolize, right? So that's one thought. Getting into nutrition, right? What we put in our mouth, what we put in our eye gate, what we put in our ear gate, so that we understand that if I think about this, how is this going to make me better holistically? If I listen to this music that's always talking about killing, rape, I can't stand that beat, she is that vibe, that beat, that, you know, all of that. What do we think that our body is going to do and resonate on the inside? That goes to emotional and spiritual. And what we're feeding ourselves to get to that place, right? Even our own thinking. When we've been programmed to think, oh no, I can't do that. Oh, you can do that. She can eat those grass and berries. Because people think all I eat is dirt, twigs, berries. Seriously, they think I don't eat no meat. They think I won't eat any sugar or anything like that. So it's like, okay, where you at that I eat only twigs and grass and dirt? No, herbs does not do that. We do eat some of that, but that's not our full regimen. Even in our social and how we handle each other, and what we think about each other, and what we project about each other, and how we project ourselves onto other people, and where that takes away our wholeness of us being whole, healthy, and complete. So when we do start eating the food, and we start doing the exercise, and we start doing all of this stuff, that we don't horribly sabotage ourselves in our whole journey, right? Because we only here for a moment through this journey, and we should want to go through it as healthy and strong as possible, right? Okay, come on, next slide. All right, so holistic, you went too far. Wait, you went far? Okay, so this is what I want you to kind of have every day, your mood board. So we do vision boards and things like that. Have a mood board of where you want to set your mood for the day. That helps us get into a place where we can say, okay, I know I need to take these herbs, I need to go out and have this conversation, I need to go and do this walk. You know, I need to go through X, Y, and Z for me first. I need to get into this mindset first, be it a song, you know, be it a mantra, be it a song and a mantra. You know, you want to make sure you're getting up in the morning and taking that good breath in and setting your day, okay? Because you can only show up for you for real, right? And question, have we really been showing up for ourselves? honestly.
Okay.
So we gonna make a change today for us, right? Okay, all right. So I just want to make sure y'all understand how worthy you guys are, how worthy we are, how important we are. Because if we're not getting to a place where we're holistically together, holistically whole, and getting our mind in the set every day to be and to know that we are being, not believing. Because if you believe it, that means you really don't know, you really don't understand, you really don't get it. So knowing that you're being this, and when we have our moments when we fall off the wagon, just get back on the wagon. Don't attack yourself. Just get back on the wagon. It's like, you know what, I had a moment. I'm human. We have moments, and there's nothing wrong with having a moment, but look at the moment and see where the root cause of that situation triggered it. Did I think something off? Did I get off my mood board that I set for myself at the top of the day? Did I make sure horizontally and vertically I was okay? Did I make sure I was vertically okay before I went on to do the horizontal? Did I talk to Father Mother God and really hear what the purpose was for today, for our lives individually? Did we love on ourselves? Did we drink some water with some lemon in it or coconut water? Did we put the right foods in early to make sure our energy was up? All of that, and I know it sounds like a lot of people. Can I just get up and roll out of bed, get me a cup of coffee, and get in the shower? You roll out the bed, sit back together, and then you sip on your water before you get out of bed and say thank you. Stretch while you in the bed, unwind your body. You have to do that, okay? All right, so when you do all of that, you get your blood flow on, then we start thinking better. We start opening up and we're in that space. And I promise you, when you start doing that, you're not gonna want nobody to interrupt your space, but you and God. You'll be like, what? That's my time, shut the door, leave me alone, don't touch me. Because it becomes more and more like, oh God, I need that time with you. I need that time with me. So that I can function and do and still be happy and still be loving and still be peaceable and not to work on this stuff in these days and these situations and all the stuff that's coming at me, even if they come and tell me that something's going wrong in my business. And it's like, okay, now I'm going to this portion where I can quit this job and I got this vision that's growing in my way, but I don't know how to do it now. Okay, I'm over here, all over there, and I'm over here, all over there. But if you stay on your mood board, you stay in that space, and it's like, okay, you're gonna show me how to get there. You're gonna connect me with the right people. You're gonna put me in the path of the right people that where I can receive and give, and I'm gonna come with my cup empty when they get to talking so that I can receive, right? And when I can be a miracle to somebody else, led by spirit, then I can do it. Keep going. Go ahead, next. Right? And so there we go, productivity. How does holistic living, wellness, eating, nutrition, herbs, having a massage therapist, having a naturopath of your team, of your holistic health team, how do I integrate that to make me productive in what I am growing and what I want to do? When we can't think, and let me paint you a picture. You get up and you drink some water, right? And maybe I've been tapping and not be feeling filtered. So you drink some water, then you drink your coffee or whatever. And then you have some food that maybe some eggs, some pancakes, some this, some that, maybe. Or you don't eat at all. And you go through the day and you're pushing for this vision. And you do not even really drink nothing else later on that day, and you look up and it's 5, 6 o'clock. And oh, I haven't eaten. I need to eat something. Okay, I'm out in the room. Let me stop and get some KFC. Let me stop and get some hot dogs. I'm not gonna eat better. Let me just stop and get some Subway. You know, give me some places y'all go stop. Where y'all go stop and eat? Uh-huh. Ooh. Oh, bless you. Why don't do I have to like that? I got super onion, from Taco Hill. Where else? Where else we going? Okay. Where else? Well, okay, so think of that. Okay, so think of what you go and get to eat. Cause you're on the move, you're on the run, and you trying to make it to this next meeting. You're trying to go over and get this person to get on team with your new business, your new idea, and get this movie. The money going and get some ideas here and there, and you have not done really anything, right? So think of your brain with this cerebral spinal fluid and bathe in your brain. And all that's in the liquid is coffee, a little bit of water, Panera bread, shelters, black and McDonald's. The proteins and the food that can't be broken down there, that bush that goes right into your bloodstream, that's going into your fluids. Now that's bathing your brain. And you do this 5 days a week. How do you think you're going to process information? Not too good. So then when it comes to someone like me saying, okay, well, let's put a halt in it. Let's have more fruit. Let's have this. Okay, you can't have it. So just let's do this, let's do that. Your body's gonna first fight you. It's gonna fight you, and I don't want that. Put in your mouth, I don't want that. That's not hitting. Like yesterday, I could have ate the 3 bean soup, but I wanted some fried fish. I was like, no, I want that, but that's the real fight. And I'm honest enough as a naturopath, as an herbalist, to admit, so I want people to know when you come and become my client, it's real. And you want to be productive, you have to really be honest with yourself about your ways of doing things. You have to really be honest. Tell yourself the truth first. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. And then ask yourself, why do I like it? Why do I don't like it? Right? And if I want to have the energy to get up to talk to all these people, really come up with really great ideas so that we're inspired, right? So we can have spirit come in and co-create with us and give us these inspired activities, inspired things that are witty inventions that will cause us to create and build legacy where we can touch and reproduce ourselves and be really productive and multiply. But if we're sluggish, and we won't eat the necessary things, we won't get touched, we won't sit down with an herbalist, we'll say, oh, well, I'll look on the internet. And I looked at that herb on the internet, and I'm just gonna do this one herb. And then you do it for 3 days. Oh, it's not working. Of course it's not working. And wisdom on how to make it work so that it's productive in your life, that it's productive in your body. Because 9 times out of 10, you have to carry that herb with right? It's synergist to make sure that it gets all the way to the tip of your toenail, to the fingertips, right? So that it's going throughout the body systemically. But when we don't, we try to do this stuff on our own, we put ourselves in the hurt locker and then we're not productive, right? Then we end up gotta go back to a band-aid, or our band-aid gets worse. We end up in hospitals and things like that, right? And so now let's get back to, we have this baby that we want to get out. We have these businesses that we want to make sure that we're doing, right? And doing them properly. Are we really willing to make change? That's the one question we have to ask ourselves. Are we really ready to make a change? Are we really wanting to make a pivot? Because in that, we have to have a team. So The whole reason of having a naturopathic doctor, and I won't get into the back and forth really of the allopathic and then the vitalistic, but there are two different naturopaths. One, the vitalistic, like I am, we work with the body, we don't work against the body, we don't make the body do anything, we don't overdose the liver or the kidneys to spill into the blood so that your blood, your body do what it needs to do. Unfortunately, because it's a band-aid, this placement to save your life. Allopathic tends to work against the body. Because they have to overdose your kidney, overdose your liver, they will overdose for over time. Your productivity will go down. And what you're trying to produce won't actually come. You'll be doing it for the next generation if you don't leave out here before. So we have to be thoughtful about what we're doing in our process. So when you do have your regular MD, and I'm not saying not have them, they're needed. I suggest integrated it. But have your natural down, go and look at your blood, look at your skin, look at your eyes, look at your hair, look at how your everything is moving. Look at how I look at blood, dry blood analysis, and see how the blood dries to see what's going on in productivity in your body. And then suggest a protocol for you to get your body back in harmony. So that's cleansing and strengthening, not just detox. And I hate detox. I hate the word detox. I loathe the word detox. I use it because most people, but we want to cleanse and strengthen so we can be productive, right? Cleanse and strengthen, cleanse and strengthen. Keep that in mind. I want y'all to, at night, when y'all, anything y'all can bring me today, cleanse and strengthen. Say it with me. Cleanse and strengthen. One more time. Cleanse and strengthen. When you get into detox and be like, oh, it's okay. So if I'm stripping this, how am I putting that? Right? Because you can't strip down, you'll end up in a hospital. You will end up having a healing, but we call healing crises. And then you'll go in and they'll pump you full of steroids and things like that, right? Giving you injections for pain and things like that, instead of sitting down and looking at, okay, what happened in my immune response because I did X, Y, and Z. So what do I need to help my body get through this healing crisis without killing myself? Right? So that's where you need the panel of people. So you need your MD integrated, you need your naturopath that'll give you a plan, your herbalist that will give you the right herbs and how to put it together, and then do what they say and do. Black people, you don't get instructions, you don't get the whole box, and then we put it on. I got this, I put this together, I do this, go that and that. Oh, I ain't gotta do that. Oh, some raw sugar in here. It's not true, but I'm gonna put this raw sugar. She ain't gonna know. I'll put this little white sugar in here, and then it's all good. And then I don't hear from you for like 3 weeks. And I'm like, okay, I know what this herb's supposed to do, and that's the thing about herbs. Herbs don't have side effects. I don't care what they say on web and on internet, because you have to judge what it is. Herbs have intended effects. So when I give you an herb, that's how I know what you're doing it. Because you should be having questions for me. Why are you doing this? Why did you do this? Why did I have this eruption? Why am I little? Men, why I'm walking? That kind of made me little, in the morning, I'm a little back on my, that I want more of that. Like, God, you're not doing. You're doing it every now and then. Oh, you had a cut. Okay. What was the directions? 2 to 3 days, 2 to 3 8-ounce cups, 5 to 6 days a week. How many cups you have? 3. And then you get down the road. I have people get down the road. Oh, stuff don't work. Then I'm looking at what they were trying to do at the time, and they're not being productive. They're stuck. So you see how that comes together when you start saying, okay, when I look at, people that are productive, people that's really in millionaire lifestyle, their whole moxie. I've been studying millionaires and billionaires for the past couple of years and how they put together, what their mantras are, what they put in their bodies, what they won't eat, what they will eat, who they're around. Okay, I need this, okay, you talking negative all the time, I can't do that. Because you're gonna put that energy in my food, right? When I make my herbs, I'm very strategic. If I'm feeling away, I will not touch your herbs. You would not be looking at me like, why you saying that? Why I'm irritated? I just put some herbs up, so irritated. No, so I take time looking over blood and looking over and setting my intentions of healing in those areas, especially in the mind. We can be productive, right? Because we cannot get to the place where we're supposed to be, and we're meant to. We're meant to be on top, creating business, creating legacy, so that others can walk in what they're doing because we connect together, right? Like Adunia is doing. She set up this whole space, right? And it's like, okay, here, there, we all walk together. Okay, my business of your business of her business of your business, right? But we can't sit if our mind is clogged with all the time with pop, with candy, with chips, right? The thought music. You know, every now and again, but not that, that's the other stuff we put in, so we can be productive. What am I saying? Okay. So it is so essential, because I'm telling you, once we get into you're pushing for your business, you won't care what your hair look like, you won't care what your feet look like, you won't care what your clothes look like. You're like, okay, look, I gotta sit down and come up with this presentation, I gotta come up with this business plan, I gotta da. It's like, did you sit down and have a deep breath? Did you sit down and ground? Okay, how many people know how to ground? Ground yourself. Ground. Yeah, balance. Yeah, even. Okay, only a few. Okay, we're gonna do a quick round. Okay, everybody kind of like the way they feet feeling grass. Who don't? Who don't? Who does not like the way they feet feeling grass? Okay, cool. Everybody put both their feet on the ground. Y'all just look at that. Yeah, Zoom, virtual man. Put your feet on the ground. You can if you feel comfortable. We on holy ground. The ladies did their work. All right, so I want you to take a deep breath in your nose, out your mouth. That's how I want to hear it. Don't even ever. Right, don't even have little kitty. Y'all know y'all been having rough times and stuff going on in your mind. Blow that mess out. Come on. I want you to pull up your diaphragm so I'm look like I'm really pregnant. Chest open last and then blow it out. All right, now I need you to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. All right, now I want you to put yourself in the grass. Feel the grass in between your toes on the bottom of your feet. Take a deep breath, blow it out. Can you feel the grass? All right, as the middle of your feet starting to tingle, let the roots grow. From the middle of your feet, anchor yourself in the grass. You are a tree planted by rivers of waters. You are the part of the vine. You are a part of I am. Let your roots grow into earth. Feel the tingle, okay? Wiggle your fingers and toes again and feel it. Okay? Take a deep breath, blow that out. All those folks that are coming towards you that want to take over that, say, okay, I see you, I recognize you, I talk to you later. Let them go. Take another deep breath, feel in the grass. Move around, blow yourself out. Once you start feeling that tingle, kind of waver in your feet forward and back. Feel strong in your feet. Who doesn't feel strong in their seat? Their eyes open, you're there. You feel that calm, you feel that peace, right? Even though those thoughts came up, you can do that anywhere. When I'm working on someone and massaging their body and I feel myself extremely tuned into them, and I'm like, wait a minute, I disengage and get back in the grass, right? And I breathe, and I'm like, okay, fully back in my body, because you remember that song, the body is here, but your mind is out. We do that all the time, we're not fully in our bodies, and I call them pocketbooks. While you're like that and you're not in a safe situation, you can come back with a bunch of pocketbooks that you didn't need to go out there with. So periodically tune back in, ground. Get back fully in your body so that you're not left open, so you can be productive. Anybody got questions about that? Questions? Next slide. All right, let's get back to herbs. One of my favorite topics. Okay, so anybody afraid of herbs? Honestly, afraid of herbs. Okay. Most people I run into don't realize they have a fear of herbs, but they quickly will take a bare aspirin, quickly take Benadryl, quickly take NICOLE, quickly take all the other stuff that's prescribed, right? And then somebody said, well, okay, well, I know you're taking that. Let's sit down and go over all this and let's counteract some of the that and give you this to take here. And a lot of people say, oh no, that herb is gonna do that, kill me. The herb that God made, that he said he made for the service of man. Even towards the end in Revelation, he said it's going to be the healing of the nations from disease. Not a drug that's made by pharmacopoeia, right? Where they took and mimicked from the herb, which they couldn't capitalize off of, because they cannot capitalize off of something that rolls out of the grass. They can't. So we got to understand and really get what people like myself to learn. Caveat, we have a class that's starting at the end of the month and teach you herbs, right? It's called the spice rack, your medicine rack. So I'll let you guys know, you click on my information at the end, and if you want to take that class, I'll go over the spice rack to let you know how to use your medicine. And that starts you as the herbalist in your home to know how to utilize it properly. I mean, COVID came in, right? Many people didn't know what to do. A lot of people wasn't looking. A lot of people was not listening because we were warned. If we honestly look back, we were warned. People like me that work with this and tell, and other spiritual people were saying, okay, something's coming, let's get our immune system together. Something's coming so that we can be proactive and productive during this time so that our businesses and do whatever. Something is coming so that you won't be set out and be stuck. Something's coming, but a lot of people look at us and be like, oh, you can talk about it. The herbs ain't nothing. I'm not doing it. I'm stick with doing what I do. I take my bare aspirin every day, which is deteriorating your kidneys and your, which you can take willow bark instead, which is made out from the bear company that came over, that was pulled over by, well, I'm gonna get in trouble, from the Rockefellers. I'm gonna call them Rockefellers. From the Rockefellers. And had them to come in because they wanted eugenics to come in. They wanted to create and to manipulate and not have us be who we are. So they got those companies, that German company, to come over and create particular pharmacopoeia to degenerate God. Because we're like the roaches, we keep coming back, coming back, coming back, coming back, coming that can't kill us. Why are they not dying? So let's test them. Because we want that gene to come over here to make us a strong, blue-eyed, blonde hair, inside, melaninated person with look, I'm melanated on the outside. So back in 1901, they killed off all the people like me. They would say, oh, they just snake poison or snake oil people. Leave that stuff alone. That's not going to help you. You take my drug I made in the petri dish in a lab, and then I put all these chemicals in it where our natural organic bodies, that's what's organic, can't even metabolize, but it's at the wisdom of God. He put it in a book. He told an ancient to write, hey, I gave them the green herbs, right? The leaves to serve them. Because one day they're gonna get tripped up and go be in a situation. And they're gonna need something that's gonna restore their bodies, that's gonna cleanse and strengthen their bodies. But we gotta be willing to hear. We gotta be willing to understand. We gotta be willing to take their knowledge. And not because it comes from somebody that look like me to say, I'm not gonna take it for her. Because it's in our DNA not to look at each other and say, okay, oh, she got it. Unless I put on my white coat and say, hey, Dr. Scruggs, don't make you call me Dr. Scruggs. Then it's okay. Other than that, that's that girl with that shit to with her, and she play with her in the mud. And she eat berries and dirt all day. Hallelujah. But I want us to really think, and yes, do not go down a rabbit hole and not have yourself in a place of peace and love, because you'll go down that rabbit hole and you'll become very free. It's not to become angry, it's to become wise so that we're productive and that we're elevating and we're growing and we're like, okay, this is happening. So let me find the people that know, okay, she was talking, all right, let's see. And then I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna meditate and talk with the one who created me to say, okay, this is the way I'm supposed to go? Or is that the way I'm supposed to go? And then do that, right? But then when you're given the instructions, like people, wonderful, wonderful Black people, follow the direction. Please follow, because it's for your health, which is your wealth, right? Health, wealth are equal. If they're not, then we have these issues. And I know I come from people that have these big words that they're told, you know, the cancer, the HIV, the Hep C, the all of this and all of that. And okay, you don't have to die from that. Just because you hear those words, there's things that are available to aid you. Yes, it's tedious. Yes, it takes time, but yes, it's possible, right? I just need you to know it's possible. But herbs are plants, and yes, definitely, you know, there are plants that they want to consider poisonous. That's because they don't know how to utilize them, right? You just can't go picking up something that you have no background or information on and just put it in your mouth. Say, because I'm going through this and you don't get no wisdom. Okay, let's not do that. Let's get wisdom. Let's actually be transparent and vulnerable. Because we want to be better. We want to see our sisters not really better. We want to see the babies come out better, right? We don't want to have dusty sperm and dusty eggs. And, you know, we don't want to, you know, we look at dilapidated like an old bag that we don't have to. And have the aches and pains all over the place that we don't have to. It always takes a change in how we think, how we process. And it's gonna be some days you just don't feel like it. Okay. You just don't. It's days I don't feel like it. Yesterday, if y'all saw what I bought, y'all would have been like, she did not drink it. I brought a zucchini chocolate bread, I brought 2 cupcakes, I brought some chocolate. Oh, what was it? I had a donut, I didn't buy that, but I had a donut, then I had some french fries, I had some fish, I had some chicken. I had some, peanut butter cookies. Right, all in one day, I didn't eat the brownie. I didn't eat all of the zucchini bread, I did share. But what I'm saying is you do have to live, but do not fall so off the wagon that you don't know how to get back. And if you found your way not getting back, then you need to have somebody to call me like, I feel like absolute, you know the word, how I feel. And so I need to get back on point. I just need to bounce some stuff off you and what's up. What can I do? A good herb for that when you just haven't had to have to carry some ground, because 9 times out of 10, your house, you don't have enough water going on inside because the bowels do make water, right? The kidneys do make vitamin D. But what they put in our neighborhoods, and then they have us pumped full of stress. So when stress happens, our digestion slows down and then our bowels don't move. Then we start eating things that paralyze our bowels. Then we go and take a chemical, which is worse, then it runs us off. And then we do all of this stuff in the cycle, and the cycle instead of saying, hey, I knew what this girl knew how to do, and she got herbs, and whenever we're talking, you know, we can talk together for hours and I to come on over and just sit and kick it and figure out how to get over, how to overcome, and not get in a place of shame, which is not a good place we want to be. Fear, all of that is absent of love. And if we sit in a place of love, like we said at the top, right, I am love, right? So if I am love, then there is no shame, there is no condemnation, there is no fear. Don't we just be combative, though, right? So that's how we have to be with one another and, okay, let me go out here and look this tree, there's a tree out here. You know, people look at me crazy, I walk and I get in the motor and I find a big old mother, I mean, an old ancient mother, and I put my arms around her. And if you really be quiet, you will feel the vibration in your body doing this. And they take it. And they know how to transmute it and give you back what you need, right? Because we all want. Our earth suit is made out of what she's made of, right? So they know how. They know how. We don't remember. That's why we're here, to remember. So don't be afraid of the herbs that are part of the whole thing. If you are on medication and things like that, people like myself, we come together to help you with your doctor. With your doctor, help you to get off, and your wisdom inside, right? Because you have an inner position. You have to listen to your inner position. You can't knock your inner position and let your ego be like, I ain't doing it. And you be like, I'm gonna look like a punk. I'm not doing that. I'm a man. Okay. And then you sit up there and now you have erectile issues, you have reproductive issues, right? You stress in your back, stress in your eyes and teeth, and like myself, going through everything is stress in my TMJ, I crack my tooth in the middle of the night because I'm not handling. So as I'm speaking, I can't be a hypocrite. I gotta do the same thing. That's how I know what y'all going through when you sit and talk about something. Like, I'm not doing it. It's okay. Come on. Little bit by little bit, we can do it together. So find a naturopath, find a herbalist, help yourself by actually doing it, actually taking it. Get out of the mental thing of I can't. Because if you keep telling yourself that I can't, you keep telling yourself that that's evil, she's evil, because that's what we say. I don't trust you because I don't really think you. Or I don't want them knowing my business. She gonna know my business. So, you don't think we You might have had a smell. You might have had a or that. Or in your conversation, we see you. We may not say something, but somebody like me and I Reverend Almighty. And somebody might say, hey, let me talk to you for a minute. Let for a minute and say, okay, let me help you. Because I'm noticing this, and there's no disrespect, and there's no, I'm not looking to harm you, I'm not looking to traumatize you, I'm not looking to belittle you, I'm looking to empower you. Because that's what I want to do. I want to empower all of you to become the herbalist in your home, to understand that in a position that's talking to you. Nobody knows their body. Nobody knows your body like you, right? Nobody knows your body like you. Now, do we listen? No. But we have to listen. If we start listening and stop showing it down and let ego override, we will be in a whole lot better places. And we'll receive what God put the people in our pathway that we asked for. We'll receive them and say, okay, all right, I did ask for you. You know, don't look at my face. I'm having a moment. It's not directed towards you, but I'll get what you got to say because I know I need to get to you. I need to be better. And I want to be better. Right. Because this is what helped. I showed my legs and stuff today. Because I used to be so ashamed of my skin. I was so dry and I would flake up. People used to call me alligator. I was singing a song. Look, they so special. I would get called. But now I embraced it though. Yeah, I embraced it. I was like, whatever, okay, come on, that's my song then, all right. But now, and my parents didn't take me to dermatologists. They didn't do that. So it was like, okay, what am I gonna do? Vaseline not working, Vaseline the lotion, maybe another not working. You know, my bowels are tight and feel like I'm having a hard time going through all these different things. And then I learned there's so many ways, so many things that God put on the earth for us to get better. And so you can see, but that's when I'm hard headed and I eat ice cream, ice cream thing and I do it like bread. And so I pay for it. But I know what I'm doing in that, right? And I'm being honest with myself. Instead of saying, oh no, I'm not retaining water. But we look in here, I'm not drinking a lot of water. My kidneys are, and then I'm no, you're in the water, that's the rich stuff. Can you touch that area on your back and pinch your skin flat and go right there? Go all around your body, yourself. So that's how you know when your circulation is on, when you're retaining water in those areas. And so you're not getting the full respiration of the cell, and your blood is not getting to your skin and going back down. It's getting pulled into your muscle tissue. Then your muscle tissue begins to atrophy. And then you wonder why you have any pains, and those bones are, hello, we're down here. Hello, we need to help. Something, because right now, I'm gonna make you hurt. Because you're not getting up and doing anything. That's your inner position. So part of my job is to teach you to listen to the inner position. Yeah, you gotta think, oh, they ain't doing that. Okay, when last time you had a bowel? Did it come out hard? Did it come out with balls? Was it dry? Or did it come out like porcelain? Or is it formed in the S, meaning you still had some food that was not all the way organic? Because organic real food, your bowels come out like porcelain, right? And they come right out just like the process of urination. They come just right out. But if you sit there and you hold it, that means there's some stress. And we're stressed, we're stressing, and we're pushing it down, right? Especially women, and we hold it, right? And so then that bowel is backing up in that 22 feet of intestines and 7 feet of lower body. And then that's sitting right next to your reproductive system where your baby is baking. And then we wonder why it's sinking, right? Our thinking. So we have to really be cognitive and say, okay, well, let's try this. Because what How am I supposed to have a bowel movement 3 to 5 times a day? Who does that? We should. Right? We all looking like, what? 3 to 5 times a day. One bowel movement is just metabolic waste. Because 1/3 of your body is existing, 1/3 of your body maintaining, and the other one is dying, right? So that one is dying, that's a bowel movement. And then every time you eat 18 to 24 hours later, that should be a bowel movement. And so you'll know exactly where you are, eat some sunflower seeds, eat some corn, and check your bowels. And you'll see how your time is. And you'll see if you're in too much stress and then fight, and you haven't been in rest of a pause. If you haven't heard your stomach gurgle today, you've been in fight and flight this morning since you woke up. You should by noon, you should be able to hear a gurgle in your belly because you're. If you haven't heard that, okay, let's go, because I know I can go a tangent for the next. Any questions? Questions? Because I'd rather the question than you want to really stuff. Okay, massage therapy. I'm gonna, on that and I'm done. Massage therapy, my first passion of this, the touch of hands. I know a lot of people are afraid of that, and they think in a negative way, they think sex. They think invasion. They think masseuse, which masseuse is nothing but a French word for massage therapist. Does not mean sexy. Okay? And so a lot of people have it in their mind that, oh, I'm getting a massage and this might still be a happy ending. No. No. Now, in its proper place in other countries, having a release is therapeutic, but the way that it's done is not in a way that have you coming back there just to get one off. Right? And during that time, especially a woman that wants to give birth, a man that wants to plant a proper seed, those particular workings around your inguinal area, your thighs, up here, in your buttocks, and getting that open and getting proper blood to that area, not emitting or injecting sperm, but getting home to your mate and having the copulation at that time so that you have the best seed possible. Now you have your thought proper. But that's what we need to do all over the body, and that's what a true massage therapist is about, because circulation is everything. When our circulation is off, you're gonna have tingling, you're gonna have pain, you're gonna have missed thoughts, you're gonna have clogged thoughts, cloudy thoughts, issues in the back, issues with your kidneys, issues with your liver and your pancreas and your blood sugar off, right? Thyroid off, liver way off. Now your thyroid is off. It's a domino effect on your body because circulation is off. So it's very important to have massage therapy. It is a necessity. Mothers do it innately when you have your baby, you grow up your baby. Innately, you do it. Think about it, mothers, and happy Mother's Day to the mom. Everybody, who's a mom, right? And who's been a surrogate mom? Because we got surrogate moms in here too, because I'm one, right? And so we grow up the babies innately. That has to continue on through our lives. That was back way antiquity that those practices were done. They were just not thought about by the Chinese all of a sudden. No, those are practices that have been growing and growing and growing and necessary. Now you can have massage luxuriously, and I do say, do that. Sit money aside for your sabbatical. I'm a sabbatical girl. In your sabbatical, and go somewhere luxurious and get comfort. But when you come back home, you want to make sure that you're on a consistent regimen, because what we said at the beginning, I am worth it, right? Health is my birthright, right? Okay. So we spend money on everything else, but why not on making sure your body, right? We go get our hair done, we go get our nails done, we go get our feet done, we go get a lab, Louis, go get this and all of that, and we get all this food that we gonna defecate out eventually. But we don't even get the help, right? Right? So I want y'all to really look at it. I'm down at 227 Iron Street, block number 133, where I do maintenance work. Well, you can keep it in your budget. You get acupressure work to be consistent. $2 a week. I tell people that, I'm like, that's not even really about, really, really to help you to be consistent and to make sure that your body is circulating, because when your circulation comes off, and you're taking pharmaceutical drugs, what do you think is gonna happen in your body? What do you think is gonna happen in your liver, your pancreas, your heart, your kidneys, your feet? When you feel a neuropathy in those pins and needles, you know, all of that. What do you think is gonna happen if we don't get the proper circulation and stimulation of product? Because we don't watch over here every day really good. Who really gets the pressure on their back really good? Who really gets the pressure on their buttocks really good? Because that's how we get up. Right? In and out of a seat. If that's not proper and nobody's getting into that meat. All right, and so I know I gotta close, but I am gonna close the last for us. I got 4 minutes. Okay, click to the end, so y'all get my information. If you have any questions, there's no stupid question, there's no ignorant question. I can talk with Dave about this stuff, because I love it, and I want you guys to be safe, I want you guys to be secure, I want you guys to be healthy, I want you guys to learn. You got a question? Okay. Also downstairs, I do have some tea. I want you guys to come in and taste. I did bring the nervous calm. And the nervous calm, the hibiscus boost, and then the blue blood tonic. Those particular teas help in those areas that I'm talking. Okay. And so all of those help you to get your circulation up, get your digestion up, your gut health up, give you an introduction to herbs, and not the regular teas that you get when you go to the market, and it has the green tea and the black tea and the red tea and all that. And all the caffeine, none of my teas have caffeine because they're whole herbs. Okay, and so you can see them 3 times. Think of it. So come down, ask your questions. If you did not want to ask your questions out here, and want to come directly and ask me questions, feel free. But again, my information, www.LOCINWHOLISTIC.com. My number is 313-778-8501. Contact me on EW Healing on Instagram, Insala Holistics on Facebook, McCall's First on Facebook, EW Healing Hands on Twitter, EW Healing on TikTok, or NST Herbals on TikTok. Get in contact with me, get your questions answered. There's no stupid, ignorant, dumb question. Those are the questions that are not asked because you did not find out what you needed for yourself, and I thank you guys again for allowing me to share this morning. And are you asking? Yes, yes, especially in these times, and I'm gonna get out your way. Okay, so that you know, on Zoom, she said that having grief massage or massage after you have experienced any type of grief or losing of a loved one, grief of losing a job, any type of grief, but especially after losing a loved one. And she was actually one that I was able to aid along and get prepared, even knowing that a loved one's getting ready to transition, that loved one and their family. That helps you to get a tone, get that circulation going so that you can get that energy out of the muscle tissue. When you have issues, especially emotional ones, you hide them in your muscle tissue. And then again, that some people don't like to get massaged because they get reminded of what's hiding in the muscle tissue. And so in getting that and being facilitated with someone that this is our craft, we help you go through the somatic process, the somatic release, to help you to release that issue, deal with that issue in that moment so that that pain is stopping that muscle tissue in that system, unplug that system, unplug that meridian, right? And so it's so much, it's so fast, but again, contact me, you got questions. Again, I have a class coming up at the end of the month. Get with me, get on EllisonHolistic.com, and then Miss Sheila Ellis coming back. But thank you for listening, y'all. Thank you.
See why when I first heard her, when she came on the show, we just captured her, and she's part of us in many ways now. Let's give her another round of applause. This is Alani. She is the youngest Elizabeth. She was born into Elizabeth. And Lily is grandma downstairs. Yep, this is the one that came forth. Look at her. She's just checking everything. This is our new responsibility, y'all. This is why we need to do what we're supposed to do here on earth, so it's easier for her, right? And so it's more, and it may not always be easy. Matter of fact, I'm gonna promise you, it will not always be easy. But I went to bed last night. I got up, energized, ready. You know what I'm talking about. And you go to bed, you say that, and forget it, just forget it, or, oh, it's just too much. And then God, you know what, the Holy Spirit, I'll be telling God, I said, you know, you ain't right. Because you go to bed, you done quit. And then he gives you a new idea. And then you wake up and you say, you know, you're ready to go again. You say, you know, you ain't right. I was like last night. Yeah. So see, she's already ready to teach. Listen, that was just absolutely full of information. And I tell you, if you want to get a massage, she is one of the best. One of the best. So, all right. Let us take about a 15, let me see, what time? What time is it now? Let's take about a 30-minute break, 12:15. Let's come back and then we're gonna hear from our young, anointed, luscious, bad, sick sisters that we have. I love all four of them. We're gonna give you some entertainment, but some substance behind what you end up seeing. Is that good? All right, go and spend some time in the marketplace. And also get to know one another. You know, sister, what's your name right here? Kim, right. Kim walked in, last time I saw her in her box, the box is zoomed, right? Her hair was way back here, all over her head and stuff, you know, so you just got it cut. Sunday. Y'all remember her with all that hair, beautiful gray hair? The sharp, the still sharp. It'll be back down there, right. Yes. All right. See you in a minute. Love you.
Hi, Dr. Warren. We are going to take a break until 12:15. So I'm gonna shut this and stop the recording.